something. Plain and simple. To me, Abigail was a delicious poison. An intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie!
What's up, everybody? We are back for another episode of Abby's Window, and thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. Let me bring everyone on screen real quick. So, as you can see, we have Nicole joining us with a very special guest. So, Nicole, I will have you introduce your buddy there and talk a little bit about the story behind her.
Well, I actually have two guests. First, we got Lily. Everybody knows. Everyone say hi to Lily. And
hi, Lily.
Gino, my dog Gino.
Gino.
He's half asleep, but Gino, say hello, everyone.
Gino.
So Lily, I made her from scratch sorry guys. So as you can hear, that was Bray Wyatt's theme song. My mother's calling me. What was I saying? So Lily was made from scratch by hand sewn because I have a sewing machine, but my sewing machine is busted. So, what I used with her was felt fabric for her. I'm gonna end up redoing her because honestly, her teeth are a little too big and she has no cheeks. Mm-hmm. So I ended up starting a new one. So very soon you'll be seeing a brand new version of Lily, even though she looks good right now. But
it's awesome.
She was fun to make. Honestly, Lily was very fun to make.
That's so awesome.
You did a great job. You really did.
And Lily is happy to see you all.
And of course, Abby's Window. So we got to have Abby, right? So Jodie Gilly, what's up, Jodie? How you doing?
A little tired.
A little tired.
I worked last night, but you know what? I love my job. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That is good. And we're gonna have some fun here. This evening we're gonna do a little theorizing and speculation. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but we can theorize and make some guesses and things of that nature. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Hurdy Sketch brings it up. I was gonna ask you, Jodie, how are you feeling after your procedure?
They left a nice bruise on me. That's from my IV. Procedure went fine. They said it can take 2 or 3 tries at it before it actually makes a whole lot of difference. So I'm really just noticing the pain when I'm more active and busy. So like last night at work, towards my end of my shift, I was starting to hurt, but yeah, I see my pain specialist again in a couple of weeks. So we'll talk about it then. I know some people can have 3 or 4 of these before it really, takes effect. It's the disc that's inflamed. Yeah. So yeah, but fine.
I know a lot of folks have had you in their thoughts and prayers and sending you well wishes. So
thank you.
So we're happy to see that you're doing well and happy to see Nicole. And, we got to invite in our other guest of the show, the other part of the show, which is the folks in the chat.
Yeah.
We got to welcome you guys in.
A lot of people are saying hi to Lily. That's great. I love it. I love it.
So welcome everyone in the chat. We have a lot of folks, so I won't call everyone out by name, but I will say special shout out to our channel members. Thank you all for being members of the channel. Thank you to everyone that joins us, that's joining us tonight, that joins us after the show, that can't join us live. Thank you all for joining us. So we're going to start out like we always do with an edition of Caleb's Corner. So Jodie, take it away.
Oh, poor Caleb. He posted on Instagram, was it a couple days ago, that he hit a deer. It looks like, based on his Instagram stories, he's back in Nashville recording. Yeah, he posted this a couple days ago that he hit a deer. Thankfully, it doesn't look like it went all the way to the engine. So hopefully it's just a cosmetic fix.
Well, thank God he's okay.
Yes.
That's what's more important.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, he hit a deer, which is unfortunate because that's a very pretty car.
That is a nice car.
Very pretty car. And also the Celebrating Meatloaf page.
Oh wow.
Posted a couple of pictures. Obviously, this is before Meat passed away, with Paul, his amazing guitarist, and Caleb. And then they also posted that shot from, I believe that was the show in Connecticut. It may be the one in New York, but I love that spotlight. It's just beautiful. So Celebrating Meatloaf is going to be hitting the road. They're going to the UK. They've got 6 tour dates. And they're going starting off in Oxford and ending in London in May. I will be going to at least the Birmingham show. I'm hoping to go to another one, but we'll see. I would like to go to the Oxford one because after that we'll be going on the cruise. But from what Celebrating Meatloaf has posted, it sounds like they're really going hardcore with this tour. They're adding some songs to it, and it's the first time that the band, the Neverland Express, has been there in 30 years. And Caleb has never been over there. So it sounds like they're definitely going balls to the wall with this tour. So if you're in the UK and near any of these cities, then you should definitely go check them out. Caleb is fantastic stepping into that role, which is something that Meatloaf asked him to do. So he definitely kind of passed the torch to him. He does a fantastic job with it. And hopefully after that, we'll get to hear more about this music that he's recording and going to come out with. So cheers to that. And hope that he's not super sore from hitting a deer.
Yeah, that
Absolutely
sucks. That sucks. And we have
story. I went into the grocery store once. So you guys that are from England know what stew and dumplings is. And the dumplings in England is not the same thing as it is over here. In dumplings in England, you have to use suet, which is beef fat, to make the dumplings. And I went to the grocery store once over here. I think it was in Indianapolis, actually. And I asked, because they don't normally sell suet. It's kind of hard to find. You have to ask for it. So I went to the meat counter and I said, do you guys have any suet? And the butcher looks at me and he goes, did you hit a deer? And I'm sitting there going, why would I need suet if I hit a deer? And I still haven't been able to wrap my brain around that. But yeah, it reminded me of that when he posted that he hit a deer. I was like, I remember that story of asking for suet and the butcher thinking I hit a deer. I guess, I don't know if he thought that I was going to cook it. I did not hit a deer. I just wanted to make dumplings.
My goodness.
that brings a whole new
story for you. It's a brief one, but my boyfriend and I, on our third date before we made it official, it was on Valentine's Day. We were, after we went out to dinner, we just figured we'd drive around and we just talked about random things, wrestling, whatever. And out of nowhere, on where I live is Highland Boulevard, which is a busy area when there's a lot of cars. A deer just randomly shows up. We almost hit him, but luckily the deer was fast and he ran out of he jumped out of the way, and then luckily we didn't get hurt or nobody get hurt. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane with these deer. They just
everybody's saying dumplings. Yep. See, over here, you can't buy in England. You can buy like the suet in a box, that's been preserved and stuff. Over here, you cannot. So when I make dumplings, I have to make them from scratch, which means I have to buy suet and then I have to hand grate it like cheese.
Wow.
And make them that way.
See, I'm seeing,
homemade.
I'm seeing everyone talking about these stew and dumplings.
So good.
And how good it is. I might just have to make a trip just to go over there and have this. So yeah, you have me intrigued.
Gary Bennett, thank you so much for answering that question. So apparently deer meat is very lean, so you need to add fat to it.
Yes. I was going to
deer meat is so good.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say that brought a whole new meaning to catching your food.
Yeah.
Hitting a deer. Listen, you can't. I've seen plenty of people, especially growing up where I grew up in South Carolina. They hit a deer. It's like, okay,
time to eat.
They're not going to let it go to waste. So you get it, you bring it back to the house or to a butcher shop, and you get it butchered, and you eat. And I love deer meat. Love venison. It's great.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Deanna, Jungle Gyms does have it occasionally. Deanna knows what's up. Jungle Gyms is the place for me to get most of the British food that I love. We just can't go there very often because, it's very easy to go in there. They have a massive craft beer section too. So it's very easy to walk into Jungle Gyms and drop $5,000 just without even thinking. Wow. Between British food and beer.
I've been here so
if
long.
you are anywhere close to Cincinnati, Jungle Gyms is phenomenal. It is it's an international food market that's the size of 2 Walmarts put together. Wow. It's massive. They have a whole section of honey. They have a whole section on organic food. They have a whole section on hot sauce. And wings. They have a whole section for soda. They have a candy section. They have a British section. They have a whole section of fresh fish and lobster, and it's amazing. Oh. It's a really, really cool spot.
And they have water.
Yeah.
I love lobster.
Really, really cool place to go. Just make sure that you have some money.
Wow. Now I am. Well, Seth just said it. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm hungry now too.
I'm out. I just when you said lobster, I'm like, oh, I love lobster.
Yeah, they have a little British section where I can get my candy and my potato chips and condiments and stuff that I like.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. Hanzo, thank you for the donation. Saying, "Come to London, I'll make you some." Oh. Hanzo, just saying, man.
Dumplings is amazing.
I mean, I know what they are growing up in the South. I'm sure they're nothing like that, right, Jodie?
It's about the only time that I can actually get the kids to eat vegetables. Because everybody's a little bit different. It's kind of one of those throw in what you like or what you can get. They used to make it out of, back in the old days, they used to make it out of whatever fresh vegetables they could get. So typically I put, beef stew in there, stew meat. I'll put parsnips, potatoes, carrots, a turnip, and a rutabaga. It's good.
Chef's kiss.
That sounds good. So is it like, Jodie, since you are here and you grew up and you were in the South, you know what dumplings are in the South. Mm-hmm. So is it like that at all, or is it not at all? Okay.
No, Southern dumplings to me, it's kind of like raw pasta dough.
Yeah.
And dumplings, I mean, basically all it is British dumplings is beef fat and flour.
Okay.
So it is the most delicious, very unhealthy thing
Well,
you can
James,
eat, it just melts in your mouth. So basically, you make them into like little balls and
mhm,
put them in the crock pot like half an hour or 45 minutes before your stew's ready.
mhm.
And they kind of puff up like marshmallows.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they literally just melt in your mouth. They're delicious.
James Chadwick just sent me a photo,
Mm-hmm.
and this, like, right now, my mouth is watering
Yeah.
because this looks amazing. This,
Like I said, it's the only time I can get the girls and the kids to eat vegetables.
wow. This, yeah,
They love
this
it.
looks great. This looks great. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I need to stop looking at that picture because if I don't, then my stomach is just gonna growl the rest of this episode. And
Oh, and I put an onion in it too.
see, you did this
It
keeps
ain't no
sounding
worse than
better and
that.
better. This is worse, yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's talk about the man of the hour. Let's talk about Bray Wyatt. And we know that he's still not back. We understand. We've on this channel, on this show in particular, we've talked about um we've talked about the need for understanding that maybe he's going through a lot that we just don't know about. Maybe he's rehabbing injuries. I know there have been a lot of reports out there. But we
Don't
do
trust
know.
any of them.
You say what now?
I said, don't trust any of them.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
Right.
Never look at dirt sheets because you don't. A lot of people say things just for you to click on their account. You know what I'm saying? They're clout chasers. Don't pay. I said this in the
No
beginning.
more clout chasing in his simulation.
Unless you heard it from the horse's mouth and it's not from the horse's ass, don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Yep.
Just even Joe said it many times when he was on.
Yep.
So we haven't heard anything, and that's Bray's prerogative.
Yep.
And so we do, but what we do know is that we have a draft coming up. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start this part of the episode out by asking Nicole and Jody and all of you in the chat, do you think he returns during the draft? And we will start with Nicole.
I'd say so. I personally feel that he may be waiting until when the draft starts. He may make a big surprise. You don't even have to say that Bray Wyatt's returning. It'd be a nice surprise if he didn't say anything at all. And that would rile a lot of people up. A lot of people would be flipping out because if you say he's going to return, people are they're going to be waiting all these 3 hours of Raw or 2 hours of SmackDown. Where is this man? Where's Bray Wyatt? But I personally feel, yeah. And where I think he may go, honestly, I could see him go back to Raw. And Alexa Bliss is on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And, I personally feel that and even though she's cleared to come back, I personally feel that she's waiting for him to be 100%. Because I think there's a story that they're still finishing up, especially with the whole thing with Uncle Howdy and, that whole thing with the last time we saw the Firefly Funhouse episode, we saw the Fiend in the box. So
yeah,
so much to unpack, and I'm sure they're waiting. They're sure that there's something. They're just waiting on once Bray Wyatt is 100% thing.
Oh, I'm sure he's chomping at the
I have
bit.
a very strong feeling it's going to be soon.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to get back.
Oh, yeah. No question.
Yeah.
Jody, do you think the draft is the time that he comes back, or
Barring some major setback, yes. I think Nicole is correct in that we may be waiting for a big moment.
Because if you bring him back now, and then if he comes back on SmackDown and he moves back to Raw, it's like, I don't what's the right word for it? That's it's just, it defeats the purpose, I guess, if that's the right word for it. I think it's best if we wait when the draft begins, and he may happen once the draft is finished. That's when I think he may show up for either the Firefly Funhouse theme song, or you may see that new mask that we saw at the Rumble.
I want to see that again.
We will.
Oh,
I have a feeling we're going to see more of that because that's a new thing that Bray introduced to us.
It is. And I can definitely confirm, Brandon, this is not a Mr. McMahon thing.
No,
I promise.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But he'll be back. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, no, he's not leaving anytime soon.
Yeah, I think Raw is the best place for him. It's a longer show.
Yeah.
I think USA Network may give him a little bit more freedom than Fox will, to do kind of more of the dark stuff. And I think, Alexa's going to be involved too. Obviously with seeing that Fiend in the box. I do also think that we will see the Fiend at some point in some capacity.
When she plays that Fiend in the box, that's probably when you're going to see him.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she brought him back the last time.
That would be really cool if we just see a continuation of what happened at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So I guess my other question there is, you both agree that Raw is the place, which is the next place that I was going to go. So we just kind of naturally got there. Is that what you prefer, or is that where you just think that they'll have them just because of the limited the time constraints not being there per se? And maybe a little more edge that you can put on USA as opposed to Fox.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of it is the extra hour that we get, and I think Raw kind of needs that oomph back. And he'll have more time to do funhouse skits and things like that. So plus it's the red brand, and you can't kill it in the red light. So he brings a lot of red into his stuff. But as exciting as the draft is going to be, we know a lot of the superstars are going to float back and forth, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Plus the Bloodline story is still going on, and that's more focused on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I know that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have both Raw and SmackDown tag titles, but they're now the Usos. Are the Usos still on SmackDown? They're on SmackDown, right? Yeah. So this Bloodline is still happening. So I personally feel, I think Bray Wyatt may go back to Raw.
Mm-hmm. And I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. It doesn't matter which brand he goes.
Yeah,
there.
We just want to be back.
Don't matter to us.
Well, just on time to add to the discussion, and I'm gonna bring him on screen here. He's just in time.
Hey guys.
Just in time. How are you, my friend?
I'm really good, mate. Really, really good. Thank you very much. Yeah. We were just congratulations on such a great Impact Wrestling stream, by the way, last night.
Thank you.
We were just reviewing it because obviously it was a late one on a Sunday and we were working on Monday. But what a great pay-per-view! So we were just finished,
amazing.
Just wrapping up our Impact review and then joining you guys. So a good night for wrestling streams for me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, Rebellion was tremendous last night for folks that are Impact fans. Even if you're not an Impact fan, I would recommend Impact to you if you're a wrestling fan. Rebellion was great last night. Big surprise at one point during the show. Great matches throughout. So just going to throw that little cheap plug in there.
Absolutely. The best women's wrestling roster on the planet. Go and check out Impact Wrestling. Go and check out Impact Wrestling if you haven't already,
Exactly.
Sorry, you wanted me to talk about Bray Wyatt, but just one more time. Impact Wrestling, go watch it. Okay, let's do it.
All right. So we were talking about where Bray may end up, the best place for him to end up, and since we have the draft coming up, so where do you think he'll end up, and where do you think the best place for him to end up?
what's the general consensus? I need to obviously, I've just come in, you know, and obviously I want to check out the comments and stuff. But what is the general consensus for you guys? Like, what have you all said? You know, I don't want to assume people are saying SmackDown, but certainly on wrestling Twitter, not that we put too much stock on that, people are saying, you know, SmackDown for Bray. But what are you guys all saying? You know, what have I missed and what have you said?
Well,
so
Jody
far?
and I said both agree that we personally feel that he may go to Raw.
Okay, interesting.
So and also that maybe he still wants to finish the story with Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy, because that's why Alexa's still not back, even though she's cleared. So I personally feel that she's still off, because once Bray is 100% and he's okay and he's healthy, they're gonna continue that story with her and Uncle Howdy. That's what we feel.
Interesting, and that's cool. My issue with that is obviously the draft kind of didn't mean anything for a while there, and hasn't meant anything for a while anyway. We had obviously Bray was
I kind of said that, like, you know, superstars are still gonna float back and forth, but
yeah, Bray was a SmackDown superstar appearing on Raw with Uncle Howdy, you know, a fair few months back. So for me, if this draft is gonna matter and they're gonna stick to the brands, then SmackDown is the A show.
All right.
To me, SmackDown is the A show. It's the most popular. Well, not the most popular show, obviously. You know, 3 hours of Raw, etc. But certainly the best wrestling of the week. The only reason I would put him on Raw, and I don't know if this has come up, but I know it's come up in previous weeks on here, is the more time, the time that is there for Bray to tell his story. You know,
Exactly. I agree.
And there was a recent interview with Nick Khan where he talked about NBC Universal wanting a little edgier product potentially. So that may factor into some of that as well, especially in that third hour, from what I'm understanding. So that could almost, in essence, be Bray's hour, or, you know, the time to do some of the dark stuff and really go where they want to go with that.
Yeah, I think you may have. A couple of other people have been convinced. I think you may have convinced me that Raw might be the better shout. Initially, I was going for SmackDown because I feel like he's some unfinished business on SmackDown. Maybe they wanted to make that his show before his illness, whatever. I think, as EJ Movement says, I think SmackDown is the best show for wrestling. But in terms of, again, Bray Wyatt's particular brand of entertainment, maybe that 3 hours is maybe that 3 hours would be very useful for him. So I've changed my opinion since I've come into this stream. I'm gonna go with Raw now. Yeah.
See, honestly, to me, it doesn't matter where he is. Doesn't matter to me if he's on Raw or SmackDown, as long as he's there. So, but if I had to choose Raw, because it's 3 hours, and it gives him more time to tell whatever story he tells.
Speaking of Wyatt, you like Wyatt's new collar? Wyatt, come here.
Let's see.
He has a bow tie on it.
Oh my God, gorgeous!
Oh, that's adorable. Jodie, do you have clouds on your top?
Yes, I do.
I was like that's like an unintentionally Funhouse styled top.
Same with me.
Oh,
yeah, it's good.
It wasn't unintentional.
Okay, cool. All right, I like it. It's good.
That was great.
Clouds. Because
there you go.
The clouds. We're all up here in the clouds.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I think I agree. Wherever he goes, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Honestly,
where would you prefer to see him? Yeah, close.
Personally, I would love to see him on Raw, because I feel like they could give him a little bit more time to stretch things out. So instead of having a 2 minute segment on SmackDown, maybe you could have 4 2-minute segments on Raw, or 5 2-minute segments on Raw, and really stretch things out and have him be able to tell a little bit more of the story, and you position it where you put it in that third hour if that's what the network wants. If they want that last hour to be edgier, you can position him in that third hour so that you could really focus the edgier content and put like gimmicks in that third hour to kind of pair with that to bring a dark element to some of the storylines that you want to do. I would like that. I do agree that he has unfinished business on SmackDown. I do agree that SmackDown is the A show in terms of the wrestling and everything, but I think doing this brings Raw back closer to that gap.
Yeah.
Because there is a considerable gap.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, we just want to see him back and healthy and
yeah.
That's it. We want to see him healthy.
You know, he's gonna, when he does come back, he's gonna blow all our minds.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go ahead, Nicole.
No, I'm sorry. I was saying that, and again, like I said, I hope they don't announce that he's coming back. I'd rather be surprised.
Yes.
I'd rather them just, when the lights go out and then you see him either do the Mandible Claw or Sister Abigail on somebody. It's got whoever's going to get that. They're in big trouble. But it's going to be a big surprise. So I hope they don't announce it. You know how they announced Shinsuke Nakamura? I mean, that was a great comeback.
Yeah,
when he came back. But
definitely.
I just hope they don't do that with Bray. I'd rather be surprised.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely rather be surprised. And that's a good place to go. Like, who's he gonna go after when he comes back?
Oh, I'm gonna ask that question. I have a wild thing that I saw out there, though, not in the chat, not in this chat, but I saw it on the interwebs, as they say. Someone threw out a very, very wild scenario, and I just want to get your thoughts and reaction to it and how it would be perceived. Okay. What if WWE factored in NXT into the mix and Bray ended up on NXT?
And go back to NXT?
Yeah, I think I'd prefer that. That's great.
I wouldn't mind it either.
Joe Gacy. Gee.
Joe Gacy and Bray Wyatt cutting promos on each other.
So sorry, Jodie, you just got maybe a little bit. You got really excited there, didn't you? You were like Bray and Joe Gacy. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
That's going to be awesome. That would be great. NXT. That's how I first saw him when he was in NXT. So I wouldn't mind if he went back there either. Finn Balor went back there.
Right. Yeah. And I saw people, like, when I saw that, I saw people saying, "Oh, that would be a step back. That would be a step down." Do you feel that way at all? I don't agree with that. And I understand what they're saying, but I don't agree with that.
No. I think it's smart business, actually. I mean, if you want to build that NXT brand and get more people to watch it and want to get your viewership up, hell yeah, put Bray on the NXT. Maybe not permanently, but have him. Yeah, go wreak havoc on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the New Day can be there, then Bray
Wyatt
they
were the tag team champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. You know, if I don't know how many people love Dolph Ziggler as much as I do, but
I love Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler went down there, won the championship, and came back up again. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's not a setback for the wrestlers. It's not a setback. Because that's how we saw these wrestlers in the first place. Yeah. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, the Shield, the Wyatt family, all these guys, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, all these guys, we saw them from NXT, and we love NXT. So it doesn't. So it's not to me. It's not a setback. I personally don't feel it.
No, I think it would be mutually beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So bring it on.
That's the best idea. Jeff, thank you for bringing that, because I think that would be brilliant. It would be a wonderful reset for Bray. It would allow him to. Do you remember how? Do you remember this is showing my age now, but back in the day when Raven was taken off Raw, he was given a whole segment on Sunday Night Heat, and he was supposed to tell the 7 deadly sins.
Yep.
You're going way back here, guys. All right, so go Google this; it's all there. But I love the idea of Bray Wyatt getting lots of TV time, being able to tell a story. Maybe taking it right back to the beginning and doing that on NXT. He doesn't need to be in NXT for more than 2 or 3 months, maybe even less than that. You could go straight back up. But wouldn't that be interesting? Because no one expects that, right? No one's talking about that except right here on the Insiders. No one's talking about that.
Expect the unexpected.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, I understand that for some it may not work and you may not like it, and I get it. I think for the most part, I'm seeing folks in the chat saying that would be pretty cool. I think I've seen a couple people that have said I'm not really keen on that, which I get it.
Yeah.
But I think if we talk about things going in a circle, that would be a circle.
That's one hell of a circle.
That's one big, huge, great circle.
And he always talks about, I go where the circle takes me.
I go where the circle takes me.
It would be a really nice direction for Joe Gacy. I don't know how. I think it was rumored that the Dyad, of course, Liverpool's finest, one of the greatest British tag teams around, who obviously became the Dyad. They requested their release from NXT or WWE, although they have still been on programming. So I'm not sure about that. But if they left, Joe Gacy would be left with The Rock's daughter. Do forgive me for the
Ava.
Wouldn't it be interesting then if they did go, even if they stayed, like Bray could inherit the Dyad, Like wouldn't it be cool to see Bray working with The Rock's daughter, and sort of
that would be cool.
Advice, support.
About that being a circle.
Yeah.
And he did encounter with The Rock once upon a time.
Yeah, wasn't that his third?
It was his third WrestleMania. But we didn't have a match, but it was him versus Eric Rowan.
Yep. I remember that. I was the other day thinking, man, that apron that he was wearing at that WrestleMania.
That was sick. Kim Dilla did that.
Really?
That she made a lot of his clothes. She made a lot of his jeans and jackets. That apron with all the faces on it.
Yeah,
she made that.
It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That apron was so badass.
Okay. Yeah. So, interesting thoughts there. A little bit of a wrinkle. A little bit of a wrinkle in the conversation there, but hey,
I love it.
Hey, that's why we're here, right? So to talk it all out. All right. So Dom, you brought this up, so we'll start with you this time. In terms of who's up first, who's first? Maybe Jody brought this up, but we'll start with Dom. Either way, who's he going to go after when he comes back? Who are we going to see him up against?
Well. Now that you've thrown that wrinkle in there, I want him to work with the Dyad in NXT. First off, that's what I really, really want. That's what I think that would be fascinating if they did that, and completely left field. I think if he comes back to Raw, then I know, and this is going to annoy a lot of people, right? But I think it would be cool to see him do something with Seth, right? Mm-hmm. Right, because I know that
I like Seth. I don't have no problem with that.
Yeah, because I know that Seth talks about the difficulties he had with Bray, in his character and stuff. I think they'd maybe like to run that back one time, see if they could do that, redo it, kind of do it right this time with Bray having a little bit more creative vision. I know it's a bit of a lazy, and I understand it's a little bit of a lazy booking. You could, people could say, well, you put him with some up and coming talent, put him with I'm trying to think of another. I mean, there's some wonderful talent on Raw. Dexter Lumis needs something to do. If Dexter Lumis is on Raw, put him with Dexter, give Dexter the rub in the same way that he did to LA Knight. But I think Seth would be a wonderful, would be a wonderful feud for him to redo and kind of them both to work together on that creatively. SmackDown, if he goes back to SmackDown, oh man, yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm gonna have to think about that. What?
You're gonna have to percolate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to percolate on that one. I think because the more I think about it, LA Knight was the perfect first feud for him. Like I wouldn't have put him with anyone else because you're not going to put him with Roman here.
No,
like
you're
not gonna put him with Drew because Drew needs his first feud back. He needs obviously because he's having contract stuff. I mean, I'd like to see that one day, but you're not going to put him with Drew at this time. You're not going to put him with Sheamus at this time. You're not going to have him go up against Gunther. I mean, that's a dream match for me. Having watched Gunther go up in the UK and European indie scenes, that'd be wonderful. But I don't think we're going to see that. Those are kind of big, those are kind of big level ones. So then you've got the lower mid card, and it's like, okay, well, who have you got there? Who would be a really cool person for you on SmackDown? Let me just have a little look at the current roster because okay, so let's go with. All right, oh no, he's on Raw. Baron Corbin. I want a Bray Wyatt Baron Corbin feud. I'm serious.
Which version of Corbin? The broke one, the rich one,
the lone wolf.
The lone wolf. Yeah,
that's who he pulls out. That's who Bray pulls out of him.
Yes.
I agree. Yes. I love it.
But if I have to go to SmackDown, I have to do that. Then I'm gonna put him with. God, this makes me sound so lazy again. I'm gonna put him with Braun. I want him to tell that story. Ricochet's great. I love Ricochet, as I like to call them. But I like Ricochet. Kind of doing his own thing because he's great. So putting with Braun, that'd be cool. I can't think of anyone else. The other ones are dream matches for me that I wouldn't want to see yet. So your Drew McIntyres, your Gunthers, but I don't see that happening. So who do you give him? Who do you give to Bray? This is the challenge, and this is why I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say, because I know that my picks have all faced Bray before, but I think they could all do with another go.
Mm-hmm.
And before I go to Nicole, I see a lot of people mentioning Karrion Kross.
Yeah, he's doing a few with Xavier though.
Yeah. So I see a lot of people mentioning that. I will say this. I love the Seth idea for two reasons. One, because they did such great work together, and I'm a selfish wrestling fan, and I want to see that again. But two is Seth, and a lot of people, there's been a lot of buzz around Seth being included in the title picture again. What better way to catapult Seth back into that picture than to just do just finally complete that feud, do it in the way that they wanted to do it in the first place, and then have Seth go on this crazy run.
Yeah.
That leads him back to that.
Yeah.
So, Nicole.
Well, I originally said Karrion Kross, but right now he's feuding with Xavier. I mean, I don't know how long that feud's going to be, but that's not Xavier. Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm sorry, brain fart. That feud, Shinsuke and Kross are happening right now. But if that wasn't the case, I'd say Karrion Kross. But if he went to NXT, definitely Joe Gacy. I love to see him do a promo to promo fight with him and Joe. Raw. I mean, I'm thinking of Dexter Lumis, and Dexter doesn't talk. And that might intrigue Bray Wyatt in a way. And Bray Wyatt's all he does is talk. Dexter,
I like that contract.
He's silent. But I don't know. I personally feel that would be a cool feud. Dexter and Bray. And SmackDown. Who else is on SmackDown? I see a lot of people in the chat say Austin Theory too.
Yeah.
If he's still the United States champion, hey, Bray can go after the United States title.
Theory
Yeah.
would be good.
Yes, that's one of the titles he doesn't have. I'd say why not?
Yeah.
Another way to elevate that title too. Another way to elevate the U.S. title.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
But see, for SmackDown, I something I have to think about too, because I don't know. I'm not so sure. I don't know if there are that many. We got the Bloodline. We got who else? There's really not that much going on. There's only 2-hour show, so I'm not entirely sure. Is the Miz on? No, the Miz is on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and we're getting the draft, so we don't know where it's going to fall after that.
We still got the draft, so anyone could be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But those are my picks. Those are my picks. I feel that they could be the first target for Bray Wyatt to go after.
Austin Theory's good.
Yeah.
Austin Theory's a really good show.
Austin Theory, yeah.
I mean, it would be a good way to Austin Theory would be a really good way to elevate Austin Theory, because I think they've had a little bit of trouble getting him over and getting him that real big heat. I think they tried it with John Cena, and I don't think it worked. So I think Bray would be a really, really good person to do that. And, everybody everybody agrees that we don't want him near a major title anytime soon. So, go for the U.S. title. Great. Go for it.
He could sing "I Got the Whole World in My Hands." Like, he could sing that song again. That would be really
amazing. Be amazing. I did mention on Twitter about Bray Wyatt having a feud with one Karrion Kross.
Yeah,
and Karrion Kross did like that tweet.
He's been wondering.
I think Karrion Kross would enjoy having a feud with Bray Wyatt. I think the promos between the two of them would be outstanding.
Yep.
It would be amazing. And obviously if he wants to show up on NXT, Joe Gacy would be an amazing one. I wouldn't mind I would like another feud with Seth at some point.
Yeah.
I think we may need a finish to the Bobby Lashley story.
Yeah, there you go.
And I know Otis did an interview and said that he would like to have a feud with Bray. So there's lots of opportunities out there for sure. But I would love to see Bray and Kross. I would love it. I would be amazing.
How funny would it be though? Because how funny would it be with Otis go against Muscle Man Bray?
Oh my goodness! Because you have the maximum male model against the Funhouse Bray.
That would be hilarious. And a lot of people saying, "Please let that happen."
Okay, so I'm going to open up a can of worms here, and cause an issue. What if we get a new character? And he has to match the model Otis with the model Bray.
Like Dude Love for the modern era.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I'd like to see it.
It'd be fun for sure.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah. But then there's some other, there's some wonderful NXT feuds coming up here, by the way, guys. Like Jordan Devlin versus Bray would be amazing. Ilya Dragunov versus Bray. What a career launching feud that could be for some of those guys in NXT,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's mouth watering the potential stuff they could do.
I'm gonna throw out another one too. I wouldn't mind seeing Bray in another feud with the New Day.
Ooh,
well, that would be good. That would be good.
Please elaborate there, Jody. I want to hear more about. I need you to fantasy book that one for me really quick.
I mean, we don't really know if and when Big E is coming back, because obviously that type of injury is really, really tough. But I kind of think you could start with Xavier Woods and kind of defeat him and maybe try to pull him away from Kofi a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then go after Kofi. I think you've got 2 feuds in one there, and that could go on for a while. But you remember those promos with the New Day in the swamp and the wood, like it was
yeah.
cold. It was amazing.
Magical. Big Dan. See, Big Dan's picking up what I'm putting down. He's saying, Jody and Jeff, what about a model character for Bray called B Ray, spelled beret, like the hat, to feud with the Maximum Melt? See, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, yep. I love that. B Ray would be.
B Ray.
Yeah. Beret.
Would be tremendous. That would, oh my God, that would be so cool.
I can't.
All right, so before we get to
who said that?
That was Big Dan.
Oh, I mean Bray and you said that. Bray.
Oh yeah, me. Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, see, that's why I said I was opening up a can of worms, because I didn't go into great detail in terms of what I wanted to see, but I want to see him in like a suit and a tie and well dressed and all scarf with the sunglasses, like he just stepped off the red carpet and showing up there and he's posing for the camera and doing all these different things. Like
that would be so funny.
It would be so fun. It would be so fun.
He would look very handsome in a suit.
Oh, without question. Sharp.
That's why I say I don't know if I can handle that. He's already handsome, but put him in a suit.
He tried.
I got one more. His father posted something. Mike Rotunda, IRS, posted something on Instagram. How Dom and Rey Mysterio had a feud. What if they had a feud? Mike Rotunda and Bray Wyatt. How funny would that be? You don't pay your taxes, Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt was just, oh God, forget it.
Speaking of taxes, tomorrow is tax day.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is. It is. Even though, don't even get me started.
I got to do a drawing of IRS then. I got to do a sketch of him in honor of tax day.
Taxes, the thing where you fill out and do guesswork on something the government can tell you exactly how much you owe, but if you get it wrong, you get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, one of my my agency work, when I pick up through Shift Key for nursing, they term it as like self-employment. So you don't get taxes. They don't take out taxes when you get paid from Shift Key. And I made like $40-something thousand with them last year. And yeah, so our tax bill is like over $6,000.
Taxes suck.
Taxes suck.
Suck. Okay, so I do have to ask you folks this before we get to the artwork. So we've had a lot of people talking about her in the chat. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Miss Bliss. Where does she fit into all of this? And do you think we see her come back at the same time, or do you think we get her before or after we get Bray returning? And how would you do it?
I'd like to see her come back in her hometown, which is it Friday that their SmackDown is in Columbus this week. So I would actually bring her back a little bit before and kind of let her build it a little, kind of like she was doing before she left with Bianca Belair, having those little moments of howdy, kind of, I don't want to say teasing her, but being that little thorn in her side and wanting her to remember who she was. So yeah, I could see her coming back in her hometown. I think that would be fitting, and have her show up and I don't know, go after Asuka.
Yeah.
I love that. Would love that.
They used to be a team.
Dom, I'll go to you, and then Nicole will end with you on this one since you're holding Lily.
Yeah. I think as soon I would prefer to see Alexa free face, as in come back just before or just after Bray, and I think again you can have them interact and have them be a part of each other's lives and story, but they don't have to they don't have to be in each other's pockets. You know what I mean? I guess what they were trying to do at first, I want to see Alexa do her own thing, but be part of the Bray universe.
Yeah.
The Bray has his own universe, like a Marvel. He's like a Marvel character.
Yep.
I think Alexa should be part of it, but not. It shouldn't define who she is.
Right.
Because then you're restricted by Uncle Howdy, by whatever else Bray has going on. Alexa should do Alexa, but occasionally but be part of Bray's universe. So if Bray, if they do happen to work together on Raw or SmackDown, that's great. But I would like to see their returns be at least maybe hinted at that they're connected, but they don't have to be on the same day. Maybe a week from the other. Like maybe Alexa teases Bray's return, maybe Bray teases Alexa's return.
Yeah, for sure.
Do it that way.
Christopher brings up an interesting point about them being on the same show. I think it depends on what they're doing with the draft. If they're going to reinforce the brand split, yes, I would say put them on the same show. But if they're staying a little bit fluid and some superstars can go back and forth, I would actually have them on different shows. I would put her on SmackDown.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because kind of like Dom said, they each have their own story going on, but can kind of depend on each other to make each other stronger, unless he's going to go turn on her at some point. But yeah, I think that's a good way to ensure that they have their own stories, but they can still come back and be a stronger team together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll add to that. That's another way. Even though we want the brand split to mean something, it's another cool way to explain away bringing Bray over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she's running.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there are a couple things that you could do there. So I like that. Nicole, we'll end with you and Lily, and then we're going to go to some artwork.
Well, I personally feel that she may come back during the draft because maybe she might. I personally feel that since they said that she is cleared after her the situation with her skin cancer, thank God she's okay, and that she's cleared. I personally feel that they're keeping her off because he still has to get better, and once he is better, I feel that's when you're going to see either Alexa by herself, Bray by himself, or them together. And maybe, I don't know how long this feud that Shinsuke and Karrion Kross are going to have, but when that feud does end, for them to be a team,
tag team,
Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt show up to want to feud with Karrion Kross and Charlotte.
I'm going to play
That's what I want to see. That'd be nice.
That's cool.
That would be really that's a feud I'd like to see. A mixed tag match. Karrion Kross and Scarlett versus Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Cool. That's cool.
That's
if you're going down the mixed tag.
Really agrees too.
You could do Bray and Alexa versus Edge and Beth.
Edge and Beth too.
Damian Priest and Rhea. Or Finn and
or Dom and Rhea.
Dom and Rhea.
Finn Balor and Rhea too.
Finn Balor and Rhea too, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That's just
Bray and Alexa versus Tez and Bianca.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go.
And Alexa's last feud was with Bianca, so it does make sense.
There you go. And there is a little bit of chatter out there that Montez might be going on a singles run soon. So
what better way to catapult him than to put him and Bianca against Bray and Alexa?
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
That is. I like that. Well, speaking of things we like, we love artwork. So
Yes.
Segue.
yes. I've done that a couple times, I think. So artwork. So let's get started here.
I'm gonna apologize in advance.
That's
because
amazing.
I'm not totally sure who the artists are on all of these. Again, props to Eric. I do grab a lot of these from his page, but this week I decided to just do follow the hashtag of Bray Wyatt on Twitter and grabbed some. So I love this one. He almost looks like a snake.
Yeah, or maybe I was thinking tentacles.
I
was thinking tentacles too.
Remember when he did that Cthulhu?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember drawing out a picture like of him with the tentacles in the back of him. I remember that. There was a t-shirt that had to do with Cthulhu, I think.
Yeah, so I don't remember. I will find who that artist is and I'll retweet it on Twitter. But I love that. That's just, I love the little tiny details in that. It's just amazing.
So good.
That is really good.
That might be one of the coolest ones I've seen, actually.
Oh, I like that one.
I love this.
Oh, wow.
You know me in cartoon versions of Bray. You know, that's what I have tattooed on my back. So
I love this guy, Extra Cooler.
Yeah.
His artwork is incredible.
Extra Cooler. Grab this one from Twitter as well. And I just love that cartoon version. I just love it. And it's kind of got that abstract, different color art in the background. And I just think the use of color there is really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, amazing. I love that sort of style as well.
So this is Wrestling Edits. I believe it's Tribal Goat on Twitter. And I love this one because it's got all of them in it. It's got Funhouse Bray, it's got Howdy, it's got the Fiend, it's got all the dark puppets there, and I like having them all together. That would be a really cool poster, actually.
That would
be. Whole family in one photo. I love that one.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I don't remember who this artist is either, but I love the detail on the face and the beard and just all the little lighting, even down to the Mountain Dew logo on his arm, which I didn't notice until I went back and watched that match a couple more times, that he actually had that logo on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Awesome.
I like this one.
That's just too sweet.
Too sweet.
Too sweet.
And I love that, like, the mask is dripping. Like, you know, we got those little pieces of that when he was dripping the black stuff off of his mask sometimes. And I love that. I like that a lot. That would be a cool poster too.
Oh, yeah. I love that one.
Hardy Sketch is another one here. I love those cartoon versions, but my favorite part about this one is the tattoos.
Yeah,
very well done.
Yeah, details great.
Yeah,
that, on the hand one.
I actually wouldn't mind a print of that one. That one's really, really cool.
Yeah,
I just like it.
This is awesome.
Brittany. I love the blood splatter.
Yes.
That's kind of over it. It's like it's witnessed a murder or something.
A perfect touch to it.
Yeah, it's a nice touch. And, you know, she's gotten really good with the detailing on her artwork, even down to the tattoos. I mean, it's just amazing. I believe this is another Wrestling Edits one. And I liked this one because the Who Killed the World is like comic book.
Yes.
inside the letters, like
Yeah.
newspaper and comic books, which is really cool. And I love the lantern at the bottom, and the one that Bray is holding when he returned. And I love kind of that transition to his face on the other side of it. He kind of looks like Two-Face ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like noir kind of stuff, isn't it? The black and white noir style.
I love black and white stuff too. I
Mhm.
really do. Or black and white with just tiny pops of color.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I grabbed these from Twitter too. People are doing some really cool stuff with the AI apps. I know there's a lot of artists out there that don't really enjoy it. But I think there's certain aspects of it that are cool, that you can do edits like this. And I really like that cracked face look. It's kind of, I don't know, jigsaw-ish.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I do see what you mean. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead, since I think this is the same person, so we'll bring this one up too.
That's very Joker-ish.
Oh wow, it's like half Fiend's mouth is on Bray Wyatt's face.
Yeah, I really like that a lot.
Yeah, so cool.
What is another one? Didn't we see something kind of similar to that in one of the Batman movies? Or Venom. It looks a little Venom.
Yeah, Venomish, yeah.
I was close. Batman, Spider-Man.
But he honestly is very Joker-ish.
Mhm.
I get Heath Ledger Joker vibes.
Yeah.
I was thinking Two-Face from
And
Dark Knight.
It's like a mixture. It's like a mixture of Two-Face and the Joker, like that version of the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just his grin; it's like his piece of his skin is
Right,
gone, and that's why you see his teeth like that.
right,
Mm.
right. I love that. That's awesome.
So this is Eric. He did an edit on one of these photos. He's the Wyatt OG, and I have an affinity for black and white. Again, things just look so much more, I don't know, serious, intense in black and white, and Bray's an intense dude. So I really like that edit. He looks very sinister.
Yeah. The lighting on this and the shadows and everything is just great. This is a great edit. This is great.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get that sort of smoke details.
Hey.
Yeah. So, we can't talk about Bray without bringing up these guys. I think they're always going to be fantasy booked with each other. And somewhere down the road, I would love for that door to be opened and maybe some Ring of Honor people come over. So I actually did this edit of Vincent and Dutch photo that I found that he posted on Instagram. We're really excited that they're back to wrestling. But I would love to see them in a package together someday.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Eventually, that might happen in the future. I believe it.
So
yeah, I think so. I think one day
I may want to start incorporating some Vincent stuff in the show, just because they're so good at what they do. And
he likes a lot of fan art too.
Yeah,
he likes a few sketches that I've done of him in Dutch.
Yes. And Vincent's really good at that horror aspect too. So love it. Cartoon version again in it says BD on it, but I don't remember the artist I found. I'll repost this one on Twitter as well, because that's where I found it. But again, it's that cartoon, style comic book. I love it. And that's Funhouse Bray, and I love it.
Detail in the face too. Like I love the face
and the eyes. All of you. I will say this one thing that I've noticed about all of the artists is that you all do such a great job in capturing the eyes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just so good. Just so good.
Bray's one of those people. Obviously, Jeff, you've met him, and Nicole does too. His eyes are very intense
Mhm.
in person. They're a little disarming, and in the most wonderful way possible. But yeah, he does have very intense eyes.
Hey.
I did this edit too.
Nice.
Vincent.
Awesome.
I really enjoy his work. I really do.
I dig what you're saying.
Yeah.
You did what you're saying.
Nice.
Clever. Yeah, they're such a great pair. And Vincent has kind of that, that cult leader vibe mixed with a little bit of, a hippie. It's amazing. Yeah. He kind of, if you've seen Jesus Revolution, he kind of reminds me of Jonathan Rumi, who plays one of the characters in Jesus Revolution. Like he's just got that, hippie kind of hippie, but kind of scary.
He makes me think of I'm trying to the House of a Thousand Corpses and
yes,
Devil's Rejects, that kind. Yeah,
yeah. Like kind of funny, kind of fun. Yes, Rob Zombie look. Yeah, that very much that too.
He definitely gives me Rob Zombie vibes.
Oh, for sure. That might be a good route to go down too. Rob Zombie makes really, really good horror movies. You could put Vincent and Bray and have him kind of make a similar Devil's Rejects kind of thing. With
okay, this was not a planned question, but you went there, Jodie. So I'm gonna go there, and then we'll land the plane here. So I come to you with the script for a Bray Wyatt movie, and we're telling the story, and Bray let me write some of this with him. You get to choose the director. Oof. Who is the director of the movie? I'm gonna go with Jodie, then Nicole, then Dom.
Oh boy.
I mean, my knee-jerk reaction is to go with Rob Zombie, but because he's just so good at those details. But James Wan would be a good one too. I gotta go with Rob Zombie. It just yeah. Rob Zombie or the guy that made all the Saw movies. Is that James Wan?
That too. Who was the director's name that made the Saw movies? Anybody knows? Write on the chat.
I think it was James Wan.
James Wan did a couple. Lee Winnell did a few.
I'm talking about the original Saws.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the John Carpenter.
I like that too. Oh, Big Dan, Jordan Peele with the script by John Carpenter.
Oh, good.
I like that.
That's my backup. Jordan Peele's my backup.
Ooh.
I like that.
Jordan Peele, yep.
Nicole.
I'd have to go with Rob Zombie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rob Zombie too.
Dom.
So creative.
David Lynch.
Okay. Different. Okay.
Very different.
All right.
I think that would be really
Sam Raimi. Ooh,
that's good too.
That's a great one.
That's good too. I'm gonna throw out another name.
Go on.
Jed Shepard.
Ah. Oh.
Absolutely.
I'm down.
Jed is so good at thinking outside the box. And yeah, him and Bray would make magic together. And I think, I think that would be a mutually beneficial thing too. I think Jed, it would get his name out there a lot more. you know, like I said, he's done some amazing stuff. I actually told Caleb about it, and he said that he was gonna watch Dash Cam and host. And he Jed is just, like I said, he's so good at thinking outside the box. I love it.
Awesome. So that, like I said, that wasn't a planned question, but you know, you kind of went there.
Great question, man. Really good.
All right, folks, we're going to give some final thoughts now. We'll start with Dom and then go to Nicole and then end with Jody. So Dom, final thoughts, friend.
All right, guys, always a pleasure to be here. I appreciate you welcoming me in a little later than usual. It's always good fun. A nice end to my Monday evening before I go to bed. It's 20 past midnight. With that in mind, please go and support my good friend Dan as he does the worst shift of the week, 3 hours of Monday Night Raw when he has to get up at 8 a.m. to go to work. He still, for some strange reason, decides to do Monday Night Raw from 1 a.m. through till 4 a.m. So please go and support him because he works very hard. He works harder than the rest of us. So go and check out Give Me a Hull Yeah, and go and support my friend Dan, please. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Awesome. Thank you, Dom. And yeah, go subscribe to Give Me a Hull Yeah. Support them, support Dom. It's been great, Dom, having you with us, and we love the partnership, and you're an awesome friend. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. Nicole, final thoughts, my friend.
Well, it's all about when the draft starts. That's when things will start cooking up. You know what I'm saying? Once the draft hits, that's when we got to be on a lookout for certain people. Oh, Gino agrees.
Gino agrees.
So I personally feel that whoever is the next victim, Bray Wyatt's victim, is in for a rude awakening. So see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say, again, I like being surprised. So I hope I hope they don't make an announcement or something or give any spoilers away. So
yeah. And Nicole, how can folks follow you and see your artwork and all of that good stuff?
Just follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Art by Faluca, FALLUCCA. Basically, where it says on my where my videos are on the bottom. That's basically it's at Art by Faluca. You can see my artwork that I draw a lot of wrestlers. I also illustrate children's books based on moral values. The first one is available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. It's called Whiskers the Mouse. It's a child's story of kindness. And book 2 will be released in next month, or the latest is June. And that one is about sharing, which features a squirrel named Charlie.
Oh.
So I'm really excited for that. So yeah, Instagram and Twitter is where I usually post my artwork. And if you have children and they love to read and they love and you want to teach them about moral values the way we were taught those lessons when we were kids, go please pick up Whiskers the Mouse. You will love him. I've been getting a lot of reviews. I've been seeing a lot of reviews on Barnes & Noble that a lot of people love the book. They love Whiskers and they love the lesson that teaches kids how to be kind. So go pick up your copy there and follow the artist on Instagram and Twitter.
Something that's been forgotten
nowadays
is kindness.
Exactly.
Kindness,
and it costs $0.00 to spread kindness to the world. Yep. It don't cost you a dime. So just be kind to everyone because you never know, you might make somebody's day.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jody.
Oh, I love you guys so much. Like, I came home from work this morning and stayed up for a little while to get Logan breakfast and stuff like that. And so I only slept for probably about 3 hours. But there was no way, I would run a marathon for you guys. I love all you guys. That's all. You make me happy.
We love you too, right, Lily? We love you too, Gina, even though Gina left.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Another fun episode of Abby's Window. And we'll be back on this channel on Thursday for some Impact Wrestling. Like Dom, when he came in, he talked about it. Impact Wrestling. Join us for the watch along. It's amazing. They've been on such a great run ending last year and into this year. I don't feel like they've had a show that is missed. That includes their weekly shows and their pay-per-views. And last night, Rebellion was tremendous. So check out our watch along if you get a chance. It was a lot of fun. So come check us out on Thursday. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if we'll be here for Friday for SmackDown. We'll let you all know. We'll post on social media. And yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Jodie, as always, for being great and giving us a lot to talk about and, having fun in these discussions. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, mate.
Yes, Jeff, you are a master genius.
I don't know. I've been called a lot of things in my day, and master genius is not one of them. So thank you.
I love how your brain works. I really do.
I come up with some crazy questions sometimes, but
I love it. Like I said, I love how your brain works.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you guys so much for the kind words. Thank you, chat, for participating and being a part of our show like always. And again, enjoy Raw tonight if you're watching. And we will see you next Monday for another episode of Abby's Window. Take care.
So what do you say? You want to see my secret?